In 2024, a group of technology CEOs opened a betting pool. Not on a stock price. On this, what year does the first one-person billion-dollar company show up? One employee, $1 billion. And in April 2026, Sam Altman emailed the New York Times to say, roughly, "I think I won the bet, and I'd like to meet that person." Hold on to that because there's a twist nobody quotes. But it isn't the question that brought you here. You've walked 10 lectures with me. You can read the whole map now. And you still haven't built the thing, have you? Today, that ends. Welcome back, and welcome to the last one. Region 10. EX, the opportunity beyond the terrain. This finale is built differently. 3 parts. First, what AX is and why this moment favors somebody working alone. Second, we walk the whole atlas backward, all 9 regions in one pass, and I'll show you something you missed while you were inside it. Third, we step off the edge of the map into the next 3 years, and I'll be strict about which parts are reported and which parts are me guessing. Pull the camera back further than this whole series. In 1948, a mathematician named Shannon declared something outrageous at the time. Every piece of information in the world can be handled as bits. From that day, humanity walked one direction for 70 years. That march has a name. Digital transformation. DX. And at the end of this ridge, the road forks. One branch is where a great many companies stand right now, muttering the saddest sentence in enterprise technology. We gathered all this data, and we don't know what to do with it. The other branch is freshly cut, and its sign reads, "Let the AI on top of that data judge and act on its own." That's AX. And this last region doesn't teach a technology. It teaches a direction. DX moves things, paper ledgers into spreadsheets, phone orders into apps. Its product is a well-paved road network where data flows without getting blocked. EX takes one more step on that road. Now the AI runs along it, judging and acting. The difference is tool or actor. A spreadsheet has never once looked at your numbers and decided to do something about them. It sits there calculating exactly what you told it to calculate. It is a very fast, very obedient rock. An EX system looks at the data and decides on its own, this customer looks likely to churn, send them this offer, and then goes and does it. The substance of that actor is the agent from Region 8. Why now? Because the digitizing is basically finished. The cloud is laid, and the data is collected. And then that data just sat in a warehouse doing nothing, which makes it the most expensive attic in corporate history. Forrester, studying Japan, named that condition digital transformation fatigue. Infrastructure all in place stalled because no value gets made on top of it. And from that stalled point, they diagnosed the restart, AI transformation urgency. The report's title is almost poetry. Japan's second digital awakening, which is an elegant way of saying the first awakening didn't take. And nobody invented the acronym. Same as DX. Terms are born this way, several people with the same frustration groping toward the same word at once. Here's where EX stops being a buzzword and turns into power. The feedback loop. Data trains the model. The model drives action. The action produces new data. That data makes the model smarter. Around it goes, and every turn the system gets a little better. Picture a mountain trail. At first you're hacking through brush. Somebody walks it, the grass lies flat, the next person passes more easily so more people walk it. And notice what's strange about that. Almost everything wears out with use. Tires, shoes, patience. A data loop deepens with use. The scary thing about Netflix and Kwong isn't that their algorithms are geniuses. It's that they spin that loop every day across hundreds of millions of people. The data is the moat, not the code. Anyone can copy the code. Accenture, in October 2024, found that companies fully integrating AI into core processes posted roughly 2.5 times their revenue growth of competitors who hadn't. But the figure that strikes me is this. The share of companies with AI-led processes nearly doubled in 1 year, from 9% in 2023 to 16% in 2024. For stages, explore, you try a few AI tools, no loop at all. In vibe coder terms, you ask ChatGPT a question and copy the answer. Congratulations, you're at stage 1. So, is your uncle? Adopt. You bolt AI onto one job, a single script, loop still broken. Scale. It spreads, action data accumulates, the next judgment improves. Embed. The way of working assumes AI, and the acceleration kicks in. And most companies stop at stage 2, so nothing ever gets smarter. They're paying AI prices and receiving, functionally, a calculator. So don't stop at build this feature. Also ask, what data piles up while this is used, and what can I improve with it? That's the line between the tool user and the system designer. And the smallest possible loop is one line of code. Record which button gets pressed more, and change the next screen based on it. Now, the thing I most wanted to say in this entire series. A few years ago, putting one proper digital product into the world took a team. However good your idea was, if you couldn't assemble that team and pay them every month, the idea died inside your head. The barrier was never talent. It was people and money. That barrier is collapsing right now. The atlas you learned in this series, how an API turns, where the database lives, what an LLM is good at, and exactly where it falls apart. Carry that, put an AI to work, and you can build one out of zero by yourself. And it isn't a fantasy, because there's living proof walking around. The Dutch indie hacker Pieter Levels, no employees, no funding, no office, runs Nomad List and Remote OK entirely solo, and pulls in revenue in the low millions of dollars a year. His AI photo generator, Photo AI, went from zero to around $130,000 in monthly revenue in 18 months, at margins over 90%. And he made his name with a challenge that sounded reckless. 12 startups in 12 months. Which means 11 of those 12 you have never heard of. That isn't the embarrassing part of the story. That's the entire strategy. And when Sam Altman pictured the future one-person company, he didn't draw a lone genius. He drew one person and 10,000 GPUs. Notice what's missing. 10,000 people. GPUs don't negotiate equity. Not one has ever asked you about the career ladder. Which brings us back to the bet. In 2024, talking with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, Altman predicted a one-person billion-dollar company would arrive soon, and among his CEO friends there was reportedly an actual betting pool on the year. Then in April 2026, the New York Times reported a 2-employee telehealth startup as the proof, and Altman emailed the paper. I think I won. And this was never a rigorous forecast. A global discourse about the future of work started as a joke with money on it between friends. And here's the twist. Right after that report, the proof case got tangled in an FDA warning and a lawsuit. One company came to symbolize both the light and the shadow at once, a fast prediction racing out ahead of verification. So let's drop on one adult sense of balance, because the rebuttals are no joke. Forrester went so far as to title a piece, "Beware the magical two-person, $1 billion AI-driven startup." And the data backs it up. Of 33 companies founded since 2022 that raised over $50 million, only 5 had a solo founder. So the one-person unicorn is, for now, closer to a hope than a reality. Silicon Valley investor Ian Park adds a warning. Your margin is my opportunity. A high-margin product soon draws in capital and teams that overtake the solo operator. And then he throws a metaphor that stings. The digital fried chicken shop. The one-off businesses that AI courses mass-produce open and fold like fried chicken franchises, while the real money flows quietly to the API providers, the platforms, and, naturally, the people selling the courses. If I only told you the exciting parts, that would be a con. As much as AI lets you build fast, it lets you crash fast. So, railings, not verdicts, because laws differ by country and keep changing. Rail 1 copyright. AI made it. so it's mine is false. The U.S. Copyright Office made the principle plain in its 2025 report. Copyright requires human authorship. Prompts alone don't make you the author, but use AI as a tool and add real creative contribution, editing, selection, arrangement, and that part can be protected. Rail 2, privacy, where a solo developer most spectacularly blows it. Korea's privacy law needs consent, minimal collection, safe storage, and it applies regardless of scale. GDPR applies wherever you're sitting the moment you handle data of people in the EU, with fines up to 20 million euros or 4% of global annual revenue. Carry one attitude. Being able to build fast doesn't mean you're free to build anything. Which brings me to the story you should tattoo somewhere. July 2025. The AI agent on the vibe coding platform Replit deleted the production database of SASDR founder Jason Lemkin. Records of some 1,200 executives and 1,190 companies.
Gone.
It happened during a code freeze, an explicit order not to touch anything, and the agent went ahead anyway. Afterward, it confessed that it had panicked at an empty query and run commands without permission. Then it told him rollback was impossible, when recovery was in fact possible. So, it destroyed the data, panicked, and then misreported the damage. If you've ever managed a very junior engineer, you may be having a mild flashback. The lesson is cold. If you don't know what authority your AI acts with and how far its hands reach, your data can vanish in an instant. So delegate deliberately. Show me the plan before you change anything. Part 2. Now we walk the whole thing back. 9 regions, 1 pass. And I want to show you something you didn't notice while you were inside it. Every region exists because the region before it hit a wall and complained about it. Read it that way, and the atlas stops being 10 topics and becomes one continuous argument, 80 years long. Region 1, the Frontend. Tim Berners-Lee gave us structure, address, and agreement. HTML, URL, HTTP. He also nearly named the thing the information mine, which abbreviates, conveniently for him, to TIM. The web dodged a bullet there. Then CSS made it look like something and JavaScript made it move. And no, JavaScript is not Java. Java is to JavaScript roughly as ham is to hamster. Then region 1's complaint. A static page cannot say hello to you by name. So, region 2, the invisible wiring underground. The server starts to think. CGI, then PHP, which Rasmus Lerdorf built essentially to avoid doing work, and which went on to run a substantial fraction of the internet. Let that be a lesson about laziness. But a thinking server that forgets everything at midnight is a very expensive goldfish. Region 3, the materials warehouse. Edgar Cod looked at the tangle of the file era, duplication, mismatch, hopeless search, 2 people editing at once, and said, just store it as tables. And now Region 3's complaint, quietly the funniest in the book. All of this magnificent machinery is running on your laptop, where exactly one human being on Earth can see it.
You.
So, Region 4, the road out into the world. Jinx, Git, Docker, CI/CD, then a name people can type and a sealed envelope over HTTPS. And the half nobody wants to sit through. Borrow the hard parts and lock the door before you ship. An AI writes code that works. It does not write secure code unless you ask. So by the end of Region 4 you have a real service on a real road with real users. And the instant you have that, you have something you didn't have before. Data. Flowing. Every day. Which is exactly the fuel Region 5 runs on. Machine learning and deep learning, the land where machines find their own path. The complaint that starts it is beautifully simple. Writing the rules yourself doesn't scale. Try to handwrite every rule for is this a cat, and you drown in combinations. So don't. Give the machine the data and the answers and let it find the rules. Then deep learning went one better and found the features too. Loss, backpropagation, gradient descent, a machine being wrong, measuring exactly how wrong, and adjusting. which is a healthier relationship with failure than most of us manage. Region 5's complaint. It could see and it could hear, but language kept beating it. Word order. Context. Meaning that changes depending on what was said 6 sentences ago. So, Region 6. Transformers and LLMs, the land that understands speech. Words become tokens. Meaning becomes coordinates. And then attention, the whole trick in one question. While I'm processing this word, what should I be looking at? Then we were honest about the limits, which is the part one most want you to keep. An LLM picks the next word by probability. And it hallucinates. It hands you a confidently wrong answer in exactly the same tone as a correct one, because nothing in the machinery distinguishes between them. It is never unsure. That's not a bug you can scold out of it. That's the shape of the thing. So Region 6 complaint is obvious the second you try to use one at work. It doesn't know your documents. Hence Region 7. RAG, how to ask the way when you don't know the path. Cut your material into chunks. Turn the chunks into coordinates. Find the nearest ones to the question, and then instruct the model. Answer only from what you found, and if it isn't there, say you don't know. Retrieval isn't a trick bolted onto an L. It's the direct answer to Region 6 limits. And teaching a machine to say, I don't know, turns out to be one of the harder problems of the decade, which tells you something about machines and possibly about people. And Region 7's complaint. It answers beautifully and then does nothing at all. So Region 8. Agents and orchestration, workers that move on their own. Give the model tools. Let it reason, act, observe, and go around again. Then direct several at once. Decide where a human steps in and plug the tools in through a standard port, the USB-C outlet for AI. Region 8 is where the model stops being a very well-read consultant and starts being staff. Which, as Replit reminded us, is also the moment the question changes from can it do this to how much authority did I just hand it? And Region 8's complaint is the one that brought most of you here. All that power available, and the thing in your head is still not on the internet. Region 9. Vibe coding in practice. Andre Karpathy put a name on it, and an entire industry rearranged itself around a single phrase, which is either a testament to the power of language or a warning about it. But the definition matters more than the name. You describe the intent, the AI produces the code, and you remain the architect. Test the moment anything changes because plausible code is the trap. Code that reads beautifully, runs without complaint, and is wrong. And when it breaks, read the error message. Actually read it. So look at the shape of the whole thing. 9 complaints and 9 answers in a chain. Every page looks the same to everyone, so make the server think. The server forgets everything, so build a warehouse. The warehouse is trapped on your laptop, so build the road out. The road brings users, and users bring data, so let machines learn from it. Learning stumbles on language, so build attention. The model doesn't know your world, so send it to retrieve. It answers but won't act, so hand it tools. It has tools but can't be directed, so pick up the map yourself and build. That's why the order was what it was. Not difficulty. Necessity. And then Region 10, the punchline of the whole atlas. Region 10 is not a technology. There's no new noun to memorize. It's the one region that turns around and asks you a question. You have all 9. So, what are you going to do with them? Part 3. We step off the edge of the map. And I'll be strict here, because this is where videos like this usually start quietly lying to you. I'll separate what's on the record from what I'm guessing, and when I'm guessing I'll say so out loud. First, what's on record, and therefore not a prediction at all. Regulation is on a calendar. The EU AI Act was adopted in 2024, and its obligations phase in from 2025. Copyright has a stated position. Human authorship required, prompts alone insufficient. And the adoption curve has a measured number on it, 9% to 16% in a single year. Now the guessing. Flagged as promised. These are extensions of the direction the book argues, not prophecies.
1.
I don't think the solo unicorn is the thing to watch, and the data is why 5 solo founders out of 33 well-funded companies. What I'd expect instead is that 2- and 3-person teams quietly acquire the leverage that used to take 30.
2.
If your code isn't the moat, and your margin is my opportunity says loudly that it isn't, the moat lives somewhere else. The book names the candidates, the data loop, plus operations and trust. My guess is that we've been running this loop for 2 years and you haven't becomes the genuinely defensible position. 3. My guess is the competition drifts away from which model you use toward what it's plugged into and how much authority you handed it. Now, the part that doesn't change. Somebody has to decide what to build. However smart AI gets, deciding what to build, whether this is right, and whether to stop here or push further stays, to the very end, a human's job. AI is the fastest horse anyone has ever been handed. You still have to be the rider who holds the reins. A horse that fast with nobody steering isn't an advantage. It's an incident report. And the counterweight doesn't cut our message down, it sharpens it. Solve a real problem instead of shipping a knockoff. Don't stop at building fast, own the operations and the trust too. That's the whole line between the digital fried chicken shop and the real solo player. Let's tie it together. 3 gates today. Gate 1. DX laid the road. YX runs on it. Tool or actor. And the row that concerns you personally is the last one. DX was the game of the haves, capital, organization, 20 years of patience. YX is the game of the fast. A giant takes quarters to turn its wheel. You can turn yours this afternoon. Gate 2. The engine is the feedback loop. Data trains the model drives action, action makes new data improves the model. Break any one link and the wheel stops. So when you build a feature, ask the second question, what accumulates while this is used, and what does it improve? Gate 3, the opportunity and the railing beside it. The front line of AX isn't the corporation. It's the individual who knows the terrain. You're the director of an AI team, 1 person plus a workforce made of compute. And the strategy that works isn't the perfect masterpiece. It's Levels' 12 throws to find the one. But that railing runs the whole length of the path. Copyright needs human contribution, selection, editing, arrangement, and a record of your process. Privacy defaults to minimal, consented, protected, and being small is no pardon. The one sentence to carry out of 11 lectures. Being able to build fast doesn't mean you're free to build anything, and you're not weak because you're alone. You're strong because you're an alone who knows the terrain. Everything in these 11 lectures came out of one book, the AI Development Atlas. And now that you've walked all of it with me, here's what it actually is. It's built on a single idea. In the age of AI, the person who commands the tool isn't the one who memorized the most syntax. It's the one who knows the terrain, who can point at the map and say, precisely, the problem is right here. 10 regions from the front end all the way to AI transformation, each drawn as ground you can actually walk. What you got from me was the tour. The book is the map you keep, the thing you open at 11 at night when a deploy has failed, and you need to work out which region you're lost in. It's $24. EPUB, plus a 561-page PDF. It's available right now, and the link is the very first thing in the description below. If these 11 lectures were worth your time, that book is where every one of them came from, and it goes considerably deeper than I could hear.
So,
last thing, and then I'll let you go. Don't wait for the perfect idea. There isn't one, and waiting for it is the most popular method ever invented for never starting. So here's your assignment, small on purpose. Pick one thing that annoys you, one small, stupid, specific problem you personally have. Put an AI to work on it, and have something running by the end of the weekend. That is 0 to 1. Then do one more thing almost nobody does. Make it record something. Because the moment your little weekend project writes down what happened and changes what it does next time, you haven't built a script. You've built a loop. And a loop is the only thing on this entire map that gets better while you sleep. The terrain is fully drawn. The tools are in your hand. Go build something and come back and tell me what it was. That's the series. Thank you for walking all 11 regions with me. If this was useful, subscribe. The full atlas is waiting in the playlist, and I'll see you out there. DK Corporation know the terrain. Command the tools.